Welcome to House Common Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode may contain graphic content such as copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, infantile to immortal, fantasy drug use, nudity, and perhaps mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. We cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. I hope you're ready.
We've got a big problem heading this way. I think it's time we get out of here.
When you say a big problem, what do you mean?
The rambling madness of a Jabberwock?
The Jabberwock enters the scene as it comes towards the center of this spike growth, and its eyes just begin to light a flame.
I think Atticus is raising his rifle to just try to end this thing, but as the babbling is doing that, you can see his eyes kind of his pupils dilating and going small, and he's just doesn't even know how to handle it. And
Atticus, when you come back to grips of what's happening around you, a majority of your allies are dead on the ground, and their gore covering the claws of this Jabberwock. Eddie, paint the picture for me. How do you feel?
Oh god. So there's just a flash cut of everybody struggling, dying against this Jabberwock, their minds being driven entirely insane, and then basically solves everybody's problems with one single attack as he sends an eddy blast at it and just reduces it, compresses it, until it all just becomes ash in the wind.
Don't want to ruin the celebration, but Juliet informs me that there may be a problem in the basement.
Before this all went down, this battle, the baby was having trouble just looking like a baby, but now it seems maintain its form better. And you're not sure if it's just because if it was all the death and misery that just occurred. How are you? It speaks.
Leans his head back. Do babies normally talk this quick?
I'd have to ask my mother. I don't know.
Mother?
Nope.
Are you?
Nope.
Mommy?
Nope. Ned. Nope.
It looks you straight in the eyes, and as you're holding it, it asks you, "Why did you let the kids die?"
What did you say?
But he just tilts his head at you. "Happy birthday, Eddie. I love you."
Aw, silly dude, it's your birthday, not mine.
You feel a hand grab your ankle, and looking up, I'd say teenager, his neck is twisted as it says,
Atticus, why did you let me fall?
What's wrong, buddy? Are you seeing something you'd like to forget?
Your eyes travel maybe around the shoulder, then up to where you see hair. And this hair, why does this look familiar to you? You look as though you're staring at a mirror, and it says to you, "Give it back. You're not me."
Cannot give back what I can't give.
Welcome to House Common Blood. I'm Gray, your DM and host, and I am dead on the inside. I'm joined by our fellow party members, John.
Hey, I'm JD. I play Atticus Billingsley, the human-adjacent ranger.
And we're also joined by Mega.
Hello, I am Mega, and I play Eddie, the bastard class Triton Otter Boy.
And finally, Seer.
Hello! I play Seer, the, Genasi Artificer. I will also be currently controlling Aluya's character. So, if you want me to do voices for them, no.
Yeah. Hang on a second. You're right. I don't see Aluya here. John, you're in charge of locking her room. What happened?
I locked the room.
Okay. Mega, did you feed her? Did you change her feeding bowl?
No, but I did give her a bowl.
Seer, did you give her potty breaks?
They have to go to the bathroom?
Oh no. Son of a bitch. Well, looks like we done goofed. Luya's not here today.
Yeah, everybody knows that women can go through a portal after they've peed in a puddle.
Thank you. I suppose that's how they work.
Well, you know how like mirrors are like a reflection of the soul? Well, piss just happens to open up to portals to other dimensions.
On that note, can anyone tell me what the hell happened last session?
We figured out what was going on, and we managed to escape the city, and all is good.
No. Can someone give me a more accurate retelling of what the hell happened last session?
We significantly reduced the velociraptor population.
Right, you are.
Also, apparently the legend of the Jabberwock has come to an end.
Yes. But this wouldn't be the first time. I'm pretty sure that thing has been brought back multiple times, but through cinematic and flavor is all but ash. Oh, yeah.
And my favorite part is just like Eddie, who has been largely not a part of that particular part of the fight, just walks in and finishes it off for everybody else.
Yep, stealing the killing blow like a typical dick. So, again, just to reiterate, raptors are dead, Jabberwock is dead, combat's over, elves are a bit shell-shocked, say the least, and everyone is having, I would go so far to say, auditory hallucinations of things in their past, even regrets in their life, elves and players alike. And I'm not even sure where I want to start. We left off with Seer, but I kind of want to pick up with Eddie going into the basement for John. And John...
Who is this John?
Atticus Billingsley. Can you paint the picture a little bit? I believe last time you were hanging from a roof. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think that one guy just tried to grab me, so I shot him in the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you shoot him in the head. Do me a favor. And Mega, you are also walking towards the basement. Can both of you guys make me a charisma saving throw? DC 16 or higher. Atticus, even though you're putting up a strong front in the face of a past regret showing its face to you, something stirs within you. It isn't joy that this slime usually feeds on. It's some other emotion. And I'll leave it up to you, if you so desire, to tell us what your character feels. But whatever it is, it's being eaten away by the slime as it is starving.
The thing is, though, the memory you're trying to bring up, Atticus, I don't think really feels much about it. Like, he doesn't feel remorse for it or anything. He just... So I guess it eats at his indifference.
Enlighten us with a memory. Let me go so far as to say that. Like, what is a memory that would stir Atticus?
I mean, it didn't even... I guess Atticus would see a human woman that basically is just like looking at him like he let her down. But it's a specific woman.
Yeah.
That would make him feel regret.
Yeah. No, I can easily go along with that. Like, I want to say, like, as you get onto the ceiling, you do see this woman, then her again as she climbs on top of herself, then another one as she climbs on top of herself, as they basically try to make a tower of themselves reaching for you on the ceiling. But again, they can't quite touch you. You're out of reach. Oh, that's beautiful. But yes, like, what is Juliet doing at this moment?
She's still... well, I guess no, she grabbed the one guy and brought him to safety.
Yes, and that was Samuel, if memory serves me right. I'm gonna say this is the moment where Eddie comes down, and Eddie, as you're coming down the steps, it's like a haze of smoke in front of your eyes, like you're meant to see something, but in typical Eddie fashion, you walk past it.
I'm guessing that the 1d4 is taken away from charisma or something, right?
Yes. Take it away from your charisma. Please write down what your original score was.
Nah.
Mega, paint the picture for me as you're walking down the stairs and you see the situation in front of you, this bubbling mess of black slime. with forms of the recently fallen.
Eddie just like walking down, seeing all of this, looking down at his vape pen. Nope, haven't used it yet. Looks up at Atticus. Oh, hey, Atticus. Are you like just hanging around?
Yes, I'm hanging from up here. We've got another leak in the basement.
And it looks like it'll take a lot of dogs to fix.
Well, yeah, it's like, if you just bring in enough dogs, they'll just eat everything. But in all seriousness, like, well, maybe not necessarily seriousness, Eddie just like looks up, looks down again, looks back up. I mean, like, I guess I could get some janitors.
I don't think they would last long enough to clean anything up. But it may be time we find a new place to live.
What is the game plan for you two? Like, the basement is flooding. The Ubiku is being swarmed by the slime as it's tied up. He's under the impression that he will live, even if something were to happen to him. But, yeah, you guys are stuck in the Purple District at the moment. What do you guys plan to do?
So, like, where do we go?
Well, we need to find somewhere to wait out the night and recover. Maybe one of these other houses is less dirty.
I mean, like, I wouldn't say this place is dirty, but it is pretty gooey and slimy.
Yeah, as you say that, I kind of want to imagine if you touched a rail or touched a wall at all, it feels like the house is melting. And the moment you take your hand away from it, it's just a, Jurassic Park goo coming from your hand to whatever you're touching. It feels as though this place is falling apart.
Well, like, I guess I'll tell Seer what we're doing then.
Okay. As you, like, I assume you're walking away. As you're walking away, much like Atticus from, like, the pool of water, like, there's a moment where you can't move your feet, as you also have hands around your ankle, but they don't speak to you. It is of a, I would say, a young Triton boy, both of them, as they just hold you and look into your eyes. If you make a wisdom saving throw, you can easily break the illusion. Very small.
11.
Yeah, that it's not a strong DC. It's a straight 10. Like, you easily just break through this illusion of your mind. Well, I wouldn't say illusion of your mind, but what it's trying to grip at. And you tear your feet away, and both of the boys just quietly say, Eddie, Eddie, Eddie. And they try to follow you as far as they can, but much like Atticus, they can only go so far from the pool.
I'm really popular today.
Atticus, if you have nothing else, or are you also following Eddie?
I'm still trying to decide what to do with the Ubiku guy.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Yeah, you can come back to me.
Mega, I'm gonna paint the picture saying Seer. Well, actually, I want to hear Seer's initial state. Like, it's just a woman just saying, give it back. Like, and we heard your final words of, can't get back what you can't give. What does Seer look like in this moment when Eddie is approaching you?
I mean, I would say Eddie is looking at Seer, who is out of their, disguise self, since they revealed themselves before, to, one of the non-Scarlet, Elf Hansons that are now Elf Hansen now. What they will see is they see Seer with this person who is freaking the fuck out, holding their hands, but they're kind of looking very, muted.
No, Toby.
As they kind of look towards this person, kind of trying to help them, but it seems like they're kind of looking through that person. And more importantly, but they're holding on to the hand, and they're not seeming stressed. They seem just more acceptant of the situation.
Okay. Eddie, paint the picture.
Just walking in, seeing, I guess, kind of like a mess. So Eddie tilts his head, looks at Seer, blinks, and responds, "Hey, little dude, like, your makeup's running."
Do I hear that at all, Gray?
Yeah, you hear it, but the question is, do you even focus on it? As this man appears like a woman to you, and it's just louder and louder in your ears of, give it back. Give it back, it's not yours. Give it back.
Seer will stand up because they already assume that something's off.
Can't hide. You can't run. I'll find you. Give it back.
And then they'll turn towards the voice and being like, you already know I can't wear makeup. It's would melt. So, I feel we might be having an issue in this building right now, though. Seems possibly that people are under a strange effect that just make them see things. Have you been feeling any of that whatsoever?
Well, there is, like, some weird stuff happening in the basement. Oh, by the way, it's like the baby's talking. Isn't that great?
Before you respond to that, I want to say, since your investigation is so high, passively, Seer, I do need to say that mentioning that this place isn't safe and taking a look around the purple district, or yes, the purple district that no longer looks purple, all the buildings look a little bit more black. And looking around at like the cobblestone streets, the walls around you, everything feels like it's melting.
Do you think it would be illogical for Seer to theorize that it's very possible that since this place is not being fed a constant supply of a specific energy, that it is falling apart?
It is absolutely within your realm of reasoning. All the information I tell everyone can be assumed as being shared around when it comes to the events, and if you as a player think that, then go with it.
It seems that if we do stay here, I don't know if we could stay in the building itself, for whatever brought it life is making it fall apart due to lack of sustenance, most people would say. But it does mean one thing, is that not many things can cross this area. So I would say we would need to reconvene outside of the building. It does make me worry about one thing, though. If that is how this area functions, how do the other areas function? What makes them be fed? Because I already assume it's emotions. I have a theory on the red district specifically, but for others I do not know.
Yeah. Just to, as a reminder, because I know, like, I kind of interrupted. Eddie did mention the baby is talking now.
I'm about to get to that. That's why I just want to make sure that thought was heard. And then Seer's like, after going through that thought, it's like, wait, what? What'd you say? What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, it's like, what, isn't that normal? After a couple hours, they start walking and talking.
Are you serious?
Just blinks.
No. What did the child say to you?
Well, they told me happy birthday, but it's not my birthday. It's their birthday, right?
That's why I was asking, why is that important for them to say to you?
I don't know.
Did anyone else notice anything else?
I do want to say, like, Seer, I also would like for you to make a perception check at that. Not an insight, a perception.
I'm great at those.
13.
13? I can't tell you specifically, and even with another check, I no, actually I wouldn't allow another check. All I can say is Eddie, the Echo Knight, is acting strangely when Mega said that. Nothing like his behavior isn't too abnormal of Eddie. It's just very strange the way he stares at Eddie.
Seer will take a mental note for now because they don't want to rock the boat.
Don't rock the boat, baby.
But they will keep an eye out, going when after they were told that certain things happen. Why is Eddie the quiet one that seemed to be very obedient to Eddie? God, that'll hurt your brain if you don't know which Eddie I'm talking about.
I know. That hurt my head.
It's almost like that. It's almost like that was the point.
That's what really just pissed me off the first session we had. I was just listening back to it. I was like, if someone's listening to this for the first time, they don't have a fucking idea what we're talking about.
Basically, how are they reacting since they were pretty muted and they just responded very like solemnly, not very often. So them to have a reaction means something's going on.
Yeah, there's been just a lot of strange occurrences as of late. I think as of specifically today and yesterday, has just been a lot of strange behavior from Eddie. But again, you never know. You've only known Eddie for the travel to get here, about 2 months. And I think out of the month and 2 weeks, you've known about or you've been introduced to Eddie. So I'd say it's a fair assumption that you can see the differences. But no, we have Aluya listening to us. Someone went back to her bedroom. Please remember, Mega, to feed Aluya. That is very important. Atticus locked the door. And Seer, yes, she does need potty breaks.
So, when I lock it, am I supposed to like close it too? Because I may have forgot to do that part.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, we like to have fun here. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by a lot of things. Explaining a little bit of the background, talking shit about Aluya. Where were we? Seer, you were talking about the baby.
So, just so I am not wrong, the baby just speaks and knows how to say happy birthday to you in particular. Did they say only that? What did they say to Aluya?
I didn't hear anything they said to Aluya, but like, Aluya kept telling me that it was saying something. Really weird, bruh.
Can you describe to me what you see right now around me?
Well, I see you getting like really friendly with an elf. Should I leave you two alone?
No, I'm trying to fix any wounds and things, and I was trying to help them relax. Problem is, well, I'm in a situation where I cannot relax. No, not like that. Don't think of it like that. But regardless, I was trying to aid and fix wounds. I can leave them be if they're not going to harm.
Yeah, I would say at this point, like, you were seeing that people are gradually devolving into, hallucinatory, psychotic breakdowns is a better way of putting it. Like, a couple more people are going through psychotic breakdowns through these, like, hallucinations. Like, you hear, obviously, the one in the corner seeing Toby, his friend who died in combat, just saying, Toby, I didn't mean to let you die. And you probably see a elf Hansen woman just going, you're not dead. You're still with us. Come back. Come back. And she's like holding like the corpse of like another elf. And finally you see the Graveborn elf Hansen just going around like, you know, cocking her head a little bit as it doesn't seem like she's going through the same thing as everybody else. Maybe she's helping people out, like trying to reassure them, like, oh no, she's gone, or going up to the guy in the corner just going, Toby's no longer with us. Calm down. He's gone. And things of those natures. Like, I'm assuming throughout, like, this isn't happening right now. I'm going to say that this was happening during your conversation with Eddie. But yeah, that is something you can notice, is that it appears the Graveborn is not affected by this.
Strange. It could be that there are many things that have immunities to such effects. Here's what we'll need to do. We're going to take everybody out of the building, and then we're going to have to, you know, reconvene outside.
Yeah, people are already starting to loot the place.
At that moment, you do hear, Seer, the room where you had your little medicine. You hear a bit of a rustle, a bit of a slam, a bit of a cabinet falling. What do you do?
Damn, I gotta go in there. Seer's going to, like, rush quickly over there because they're like, I don't want my good work to disappear.
Yeah. As you're rushing along, you get in, you look around, it's still there. You look to the side, and you see a bird cage on the ground. And with the cloth over it, you just hear it rustling, you hear it banging, you just hear something within the cage moving around. and it seems like it's scared as well.
Seer will first pick up the medicine they built so that they could fix a lot of people.
Hmm.
And then they will go approach the cage, ushering Eddie to be like, will you bring the child from upstairs down? Because I have a test, but I need to assess what's going on here.
I mean, like, just the baby, or like, should I bring both of them?
I would bring both of them. Bring both.
Okay. Yeah, that happens. Well, actually, I kind of want to split the scene on that a little bit. But first, Seer, just to focus on you a little bit longer. What do you do with the cage?
Obviously, I pick it up.
Yeah, you pick it up and you feel it bumping. You feel it swaying, like much more than you just picking it up. It seems whatever's in there wants to leave.
I open the cage. Oh, not open the cage, but open what's to see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you lift the cloth and you get a bit of deja vu as you see a Dracula falcon. And instead of having, well, I shouldn't say Dracula falcon, a Dracula parrot. And instead of the regular coloring of black and red, you see that it has blue feathers. And etched within these blue feathers is waves, kind of like water. And it is just gnawing with its beak on the bars of the cage, just screeching at you.
I'm guessing they were all connected. Ed starts to carry the cage and their equipment outside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sees if the bird's reaction starts to calm down after it gets outside the building.
It seems freaked out to be anywhere in the Purple District. It is much like an animal before a tsunami or an earthquake. Like, it is just going crazy. It wants to leave any way possible, but it's trapped.
Seer, wanting to be nice, would want to release it, but they will not, for it is strange to find a bird like this around.
Mm-hmm. You mind explaining me why you have a fascination with this bird at all?
Well, besides the fact that Seer had dealt with one before, only one that was made of fire.
Mm-hmm.
This one is similar, except they resemble water.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that there is a form of connection that's being passed back and forth. So there's messengers, like the last one before. So this might be another messenger. Which makes me wonder how much this apothecary was really deep down the hole.
Or you mean Samuel, because you did find this in the manor.
Samuel, too.
Yeah, Samuel. There we
Which
go.
means I will send Rascal to be like, I think it might be wise to let Atticus know that we might need to take Samuel further with us.
All right. Let's shift. Atticus, you feel like you're ready?
Yeah, can I do a quick perception check to see if there's any way that I can get this guy out, or maybe like restrain him in a different way so I can get him out of the basement without touching the goo?
I don't even think a check's necessary. A method off the top of my head is using Juliet. Like, she's capable of breathing fire, or, well, even with her, like, jaws alone, like, she can eat through rope, or at least bite through rope, I should say.
Yeah, I meant more of like another way. So, like, if this is kind of a jailhouse, so like if there's, manacles or anything that we can restrain him after I cut the
Okay.
ropes.
Yeah, absolutely. There is manacles about. Like, you can easily find that, but obviously yeah, that's the tricky part. I see what you're saying, is if you cut him loose, he's going to try to escape, so you want to quickly restrain him. Or do you want to try to work out a way to restrain him before you release him from the rope?
Yeah, if I can figure out a way to restrain him before I release him.
Okay. Yeah, like, as Moo's suggesting, knocking him out is an option. With the way that you have him tied up, his arms are way too far away for, like, these, like, I should say shackles rather than just straight manacles. It's not mounted to a wall. These shackles that connect to one another, like, it just can't go to that, like, full, like, wingspan that you have him tied up.
Alright, yeah, I guess I'll knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll just dangle above him and then take my rifle and just smack him in the head.
Yeah, no rolls necessary. Like, he's tied up. You have him in your control. You can easily just hit him with the butt of your gun. He knocks out. You're able to restrain him. If you want, you can try to take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have Juliet fly, pick him up, and then fly out.
Okay. So you have Samuel and you have the Biku. But this water keeps following you. Like it's not even equally distributed across the room anymore. It's like a amorphous blob as it inches closer and crawls towards you, with the forms of raptors forming, dissipating, elven swordsmen, archers.
I imagine I'm still swinging my torch at it whenever it comes near me.
And as you swing the torch, you see far in the back that begins to form a very horrifying visage of a Jabberwock.
I'm gonna yell out like, we need to leave now.
Good reaction. Yes. Again, we're not gonna do chase. We're not gonna like roll initiative or anything like that. I can easily say that you and Juliet like dragged the Biku and Samuel like up the stairs, and this blob just keeps like trying to push itself out, try to go up the stairs, but it can't quite reach you after a certain point. Like it's rooted at the basement. But
I'm gonna lock the door behind me.
yep. And as you lock the door, you hear like clumps of the ceiling down on the stairwell leading downward just keep dropping to the ground with a rubber-like thud. All right.
Grab your things. It's time to go.
Yes, you're dragging them. Mega, let's focus on you for a second. You go upstairs. You go towards the mother and child, and the baby is still within the mother's hands, and she just looks down at the baby. Anyone ever play Persona 5?
A little bit.
Yeah. See. For the audience, I should say, like it looks like the Sayuri from Persona 5, but just to show everyone in chat, that's kind of like the form that she takes. Just a typical cradle, like meaningful look. Like this is the most emotion you've seen from this woman. Just a strange expression on her face as she stares at her baby.
It's like, hey, looks like we're like leaving and all. You gave birth like a few hours ago, but I think you'll be okay. As just goes over and I guess does his best to like help her out of the bed and kind of like lead her, because I don't want to attempt to try actually carrying her.
Okay. You try to move her, but she remains still. Can you make me an investigation check?
Only 4.
Yeah, for some reason, Eddie, as you're trying to move her, she is like a brick house. She will not move. And you don't know why. Like, just to save a bit of time, like, no matter how you try to physically move her, no matter what you say, she just does not move.
That's real weird. Seer, you get a message in your head. It's just like, hey, little dude, she like won't move anywhere. Just too heavy.
Can you see any connections to the house and stuff like that? I say this is because last time when she was trapped, she was encased or a part of, you could say, the home itself when we were leaving. Do you see anything of that?
Just to, again, like, because of Seer's passive investigation with it being so high, like, Seer, you know that the room is directly above you, and where this woman is sitting, where she is sitting, correlates with the ceiling as you see, like, strands of black slime that have been stretched out like roots as it goes across the ceiling, along the wall, down to the basement.
Either that or message ends, since there's not enough for 6 seconds.
That's fine. Keep it going. Yeah.
It could also be that they, and I hate to say this, Eddie, but they're being consumed or assimilated to something much larger.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what do I, like, do about it?
I don't want to say it, but I think we might have to leave them if it's already too late.
Eddie? You hear the baby say, looking at you, and it opens up its arms like it wants a hug.
It's like, oh, sure, come up, little dude. and I guess picks them up.
Well, again, within her arms, you try to grab the baby, and the baby too does not move, but it giggles when you touch it.
Huh. Come on. Eh. This is like getting annoying.
No. What's the course of action? Like, Atticus, you got the Bhikkhu, and Samuel, you're dragging them out. Seer, I assume you're evacuating the elves. Mega, you have a woman that is literally rooted in the ground, holding her child.
Eddie just thinks on it for a moment. Oh, I got it. If I get rid of the bed underneath.
Oh, God. Let me just pull up a few things. Go on.
just like looks over at Eddie. Like, all right, hear me out. What if we like destroy the bed? And if the bed isn't there, then they can move, right?
By logic like that, yes.
So,
all right. In which case, he'll just see if he can. Let's see what an Eddie blast does to the bed.
does a blast towards the root. It goes down Cell style from Dragon Ball Z, like it's eating something. And we cut towards the staircase of a Jabberwock squeezing up, and it's able to reach closer to the door. But yes, that's what occurs. It doesn't break off, it feeds off of your blast.
It sends another message to Seer. Okay, so like, the bed didn't do anything. I might have to do it the hard way.
Can you tell me what you're planning to do?
Yeah, keep in mind, after that blast, the bed is melting a lot more, and you see the walls around you becoming increasingly slime-like. Again, important note I should point out there.
Well, like, if one of Eddie's, like, smoky blasts can't do anything, I'm just gonna see what happens if I just beat it with my stick.
Unzip pants.
Okay, what the fuck are you gonna do, Eddie?
Well, as Eddie's just gonna see if, like, if maybe he can, like, just destroy the parts around it.
Okay.
Although, actually, well, what actually winds up happening, though, is that, like, I imagine that, like, because of how these mechanics work, it's funny how this goes. But basically, even though he's kind of like holding the stick, like Smokey Eddie has a very identical stick and just starts like beating the slime around the baby and mother.
Oh God. Okay. Let's see. What kind of check do I even want to do with that? Feels like an endurance test because you're gonna do it. I want to say athletics. But I could go. I feel like the only skill that fits is athletics. Like I unless you can petition for something else. Like I don't feel like acrobatics fits. I don't feel like sleight of hand fits.
Well, he's trying to persuade the bed to fall apart.
I don't feel like this persuasion either. Give me an athletics roll.
Natural 20 with a 21 total.
Holy shit! You get what you want. Just paint the pictures for me, because you're using a physical action. You're not using magic. You're not feeding the monster anymore. Like, paint the picture for me.
I imagine that, like even though like Eddie kind of like gave like a very generic command, Smokey Eddie knows how to take a hammer situation and make it a scalpel situation. So I imagine that Smokey Eddie just like takes the form like in their hands, like takes the form of the staff and just like makes a few like adjustments looking about the bed and just like raises the smoky version of its staff and makes a very precise blow in the exact place where it needs to.
Okay. Yes. Now you're able to chisel it out, and I'm not going to do double jeopardy. I'm not going to make you roll again, but I'm going to say the finishing part to this, where you're going to have to make a decision. After you chisel this woman and her baby out of the bed, there is still those roots from her feet that go into the ground. What do you do about these roots? And You don't need to check. I just want to hear. Yeah, I just want to hear what you do.
I mean, honestly, because of Eddie's experience with plants, generally speaking, you can't take a plant out of the ground unless you sever the root.
Actually, yeah, like, really paint this. Like, how does the drug dealer, like, cut the root? Tell me in great detail.
Yeah, just like looking at it, just like, yep, those are in pretty deep. Eddie, mind giving them a lift? And then so Smokey Eddie just like it just like erases them just a little bit, and then it's like yep, just pulls out a knife, and well, I say knife, but dagger, and just like, well, and just like gives like a kind of like a grips by the hand of it, and just cuts the root from the bottom. I'm not sure how actually thick these are. He might have like picked something bigger if.
Everyone make me a dexterity saving throw. 19 from Seer, 17 from Atticus. Eddie gets 8. Eddie, the moment your blade goes to this connection, the moment it fully severs the root, you feel and you can see the whole house shake. Looking around in the district, it's like there is an earthquake. You fall prone. Atticus, Seer, you see the same thing. Looking around you, you see like maybe one of the buildings in the distance crumbles. You hear a deafening roar. It's almost inhuman. It is, yeah, imagine an alien screaming as it dies. That is the kind of sensation that comes across your ears. This is not something mortal ears should hear. Has anyone seen the movie Monster House?
Yep.
I saw that when it came out.
Yep. There you go then. Imagine that. Like, Eddie, the layout of your room has changed. Could have sworn that the door was behind you. Now it's in front of you? Must got turned around. Atticus, as you're dragging these people down the hallway, your back hits a wall. Seer, as you evacuate these people from the house. Actually, Seer, do you like odds or evens?
I am an odd girl.
Okay, make me that roll. And you said you're not?
I'm an odd girl.
Remember the elf that was complaining, or not complaining, in shock of Toby? Like seeing him?
Yeah.
He's the last person you're escorting out. And I feel like maybe you have his hand as you're guiding him, and you walk him through the entrance. And your body is taken aback as you're holding this hand. You feel a ton of weight in your hand, like you're almost dragged to the ground. Just like, what the hell? There's a lot more weight. You look back and you see the upper torso of the elf you're escorting as it has become separated from his body, walking through the door as it shifted.
I imagine everybody that is there is in shock as they suddenly see a companion just get ripped in half.
Oh yeah. Again, Seer, since you're outside, the layout of the city has changed. Houses are not where they should be. Like, there are streets where there are never streets. And you feel, yeah, I'd say it, everyone probably feels it. You feel murderous intent in the air, like a predator that has cornered prey. Eddie? No, I kind of want to focus on Atticus for a second. Eddie, we're going to save you for a little bit. Atticus, your back hits the wall. You swear to God, that's where the exit was. In fact, you vividly remember a huge opening where the doors should be. There shouldn't have been a wall. This is a corridor. This is the main way out. Yes. And again, I'm not going to make a lot of lines on the map. Just say that you're probably falling behind and you see like the lower half of an elf separated from his body.
I'm pissed off. What can I look around and see where the exit is now? Or at least like some of the holes that we made, or like
yeah, I was gonna say, like, you don't see any, yeah, I wouldn't even say you see damage anymore. Like, everything is becoming more slime-like you're in the belly of a beast. Looking around, you only see one corridor, and it is to your left.
So when you say So this isn't the first time Atticus has been in the belly of a beast. And last time he was here, he cut his way out. Does it look more like slime or more like stone?
Slime.
So I think I'm going to probe the walls and just stick my sword in and try to cut through it.
Okay. You begin to cut through it. Yeah, you as well make me an athletics check.
14.
14. So are you making, I should ask, are you making a doorway? Are you purposely damaging it? Like, what is your plan?
He's right now he's just kind of testing, so he's like probing to see if he can cut his way out. So he's just like seeing if it's possible.
Yeah, you can stick your sword through it. Shouldn't have a problem cutting your way out. Make a hole.
Can I roll an insight check on you when you say that?
I would like to incite the DM.
Can I also incite the DM?
Yeah.
Make a hole. Go right ahead. Remind me, what's your health at again?
38.
Okay, thank you.
But Juliet is at 40. So I'm going to tell Juliet to dig and have her try to dig through it.
Okay. Have Juliet make me a dexterity saving throw.
9.
Make me a roll. Make me 15 D4.
Oh, 15 D4?
15 D4. I see that space. 15 space D4, huh? 37. You see as she digs through it, like a mimic, you see it open its mouth and bite down on Juliet's head, and just like a dog, you hear her whimper as she's struggling to get her head out, and is just ripping through her neck, nearly serrating and decapitating her. Nearly.
I'm gonna cause her to disappear, just because that's horrifying.
Yeah.
And then I'll resummon her.
Okay, you do so.
And then we'll go down the other pathway.
Okay. You begin to walk down the hallway. And let's move back to Eddie. Eddie, you got her free. The door is in front of you when it should have been behind you. What do you do?
Must have got turned around when I fell down.
Mm-hmm. Must have.
In which case, it's like he's going to go over to the mother and baby. It's just like, well, time to leave now. Hey Eddie, can you open the door for me? And a la mage hand version of this, wanders over and opens the doorway.
Yeah, you open the door. No issues.
And I guess with that, Eddie leads everyone outside.
We'll get there. So you go outside the door, and what you should see is an imperial staircase that goes to the first floor. Much like Atticus, you see a hallway. What's strange is the architecture doesn't match what it should. Like, you look left, you look right, and not only is the door at a really weird angle, I should say, imagine the hallway is diagonal. When you open the door, it's almost like you're seeing part of the wall. It is still horizontal. The walls are now diagonal, clipping into the door at a weird angle. And your first thought is, whoa. I don't remember looking, forward and back, looking down the hallway. Usually it's left to right. You look out, and you see that the hallway leading north goes at an incline to the point where it's ramp-like, going straight to the ceiling. While looking south, you see that it is also ramp-like, with its incline, as it goes downwards till it's almost a pit.
Well, I already double-checked and I didn't smoke anything before now, so that can't be it. It's the slope leads down to what appears to be a pit, but the slope upward, does that seem to be leading anywhere, or is it just ramming into the ceiling?
There's a door on the ceiling.
Hey Eddie, can you open that door? I want to see where it goes.
Okay. You open up the door. And at this point, I should say, Atticus, as you're going down the hallway, you see a door open up at the end of the hallway. And looking down, it's a weird optical illusion. You see a wall, maybe, beyond the door?
Is that the only thing in this hallway?
Yeah, just another door.
No, I guess I'll walk up and see if there is a wall there or if it is something else.
You get closer, and it's really fucking with your mind. You get closer, and it looks like the wall gradually descends as you get closer and closer until you come at an angle where you see Eddie. This is really trippy. Eddie, you should be on the second floor. You're looking up where there shouldn't be anything but open air. You look up, and you see Atticus, who is on the first floor. And it seems like... what's that painting with the staircases? It is much like that, is what the architecture is coming to.
Etty, did you slip anything into my water?
Nah, I wouldn't do that. You know, consent and all that.
Alright.
Although, follow-up question, did you slip anything into mine?
No, it seems there's some fuckery about here.
Yeah. As you say that, like, Eddie, you begin to cough a little bit. Atticus, remind me, does Atticus need to breathe?
He does not.
Eddie, it's getting a little harder to breathe. This is not the smoke you're into. Ugh.
Yeah, you think his lungs would be like, like almost like steel.
Yeah, there's difference between, oh yeah, I smoke a lot of weed versus this is really not good for me. Holy fuck.
Well, actually, probably his lungs aren't doing so well if he's smoking all the time. That's not usually how it works. Is I smoke a lot of cigarettes and I get super lungs.
But yes, like it's just. Yeah, the air is tasting weird. It's not comfortable. It's acidic.
Yeah, probably. Like, is the door outside up there? I think maybe, like, we should probably go out it.
I couldn't find the exit up here, but is there any way out there? It seems like there was only one direction, and it led me here.
Well, there's always a hole we can try.
And you hear a burbling behind you, Mega. Almost like a maddening babble. Atticus, as you say, look, like, there's only one way. This is the corridor. You look back, and again, the architecture has changed, where the hallway extends even further and further down.
What about in the other direction?
You see, it's like a clogged toilet. You just see it begin to fill, and the black slime-like water begins to raise. And I think at that moment you see like a buggy eye, like the eye of a fly, begin to raise, along with the form of a very thin dragon with buck teeth.
I just have to say I feel very sorry for your plumber. That's what you think a clogged toilet looks like.
A lot of Taco Bell really fucks up a toilet, buddy. I'm not kidding. I have to call a plumber every other day. But yes.
So is that the direction I came from, or is that the direction that I was heading towards?
Heading towards. That is behind Eddie.
What about the direction I came from? Has anything changed that way?
The corridor just seems to stretch on a little farther than your eye can see, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, my passive is 20.
Well, it's not even that, like, you can see, well, how far can an eye truly see? Like, it's impossibly long, like horizon long.
Eddie, and this is behind Eddie, this horrible toilet monster.
Yes.
Eddie, I think we need to go this way, and quickly.
Well, alright. I suppose we can try another hole together sometime later.
Okay.
As he just leads the mother and child through the door where Atticus is.
So here outside of the house, you see the, like, how would I even describe this? It takes on a darker shade of black. It starts to lose texture and begins to beat like a heart. During this time, what is Seer doing?
How's the property looking?
Property is also looking bleak. It's like someone is pouring ink over the landscape.
Damn. kind of like looking about, just seeing all this go like it's the entire area. Looks to the bird and goes like, I think I understand why you're panicking.
Mm-hmm.
So finally let going of the half-dead man's corpse hand.
Yep.
We'll have to tell the Scarlet Elf Hansons and the remaining male elves, be like, I think we'll need to leave really quickly, but my companions are stuck in the building. I'm not going to force you to stay. Your lives are at risk if you stay here. So if you could meet us somewhere, that would help. Do you know a safe spot that we can all reconvene?
I think the general consensus is anywhere but here would be a safe place to be, like outside of the gate, outside of the Purple District.
What I'm gonna have to do though is before I even go out or try to like help Atticus and Eddie, I need to make sure these people can leave. So I'm gonna send Rascal through one of the gates, see if it gets a reaction out of it.
You're sending Rascal through the gate?
Yeah.
Is it considered living?
It's a construct, but the big point is that I'm trying to see if there's any sign of it, reacting, because it did react to it before. It just didn't attack.
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rascal was able to get through the gate last time, wasn't he? Yeah, I would allow it. I will allow it, even though it's a construct. It goes through the gate, and again, Thimreth is still outside of the gate, looking at your construct. I need to know specifically, what does it try to do?
Just fly out and fly up above. I would say 30 feet, way out of this person's range.
Bold for you to assume 30 feet is outside of his range, but yes, it flies 30 feet up. He just stares at it.
So, but basically, he's just camping at the gate. Am I correct?
Yep. He is either waiting for heads or a response.
Aren't there 2 gates?
Yes, there are 2 gates. One to the north that goes towards...
Well, I've been told that there are actually 8 gates.
8 gates?
But you have to unlock each of them one at a time.
There is one to the east and one to the west. So it really depends which gate you send it out of, because he's like towards the gate on the east.
I mean, he's waiting for a response. I'm going to check the opposite gate, because if he can see what's happening, then he probably will react. But if he can't see what's going on, then he can't react.
Okay. Yeah. You go to the gate on the other side of the district, and strangely enough, you see him again.
So...
And again, I must specify, his skin looks like a hue of blue and slightly melty.
Sadly, Seer might have to not approach into the gate, but basically approach, because she has never seen this person. As you remember, she's the only one that stayed inside the building.
Yep. Atticus, how much have you told us here? Or how much has the party even relayed this year? I think, it was brought up, wasn't it? That, when your family was outside?
Yeah, I think I called him my cousin.
So, you approached Thimreth then?
Which Seer might think is strange, because I call him my cousin and he's an elf and I'm a human.
But yeah, I think I would approach it, but
Do you look like a Genasi?
Sadly, yeah, because I didn't think about it just till now, so I would put the hat back on, but I wouldn't activate it right off the bat.
Oh, I think he would cock his head and just go, What are you doing in there? I haven't sent you in yet. Why? And his eyebrow is raised. Explain to me what you're doing in the Purple District. You should be at the tent.
Sorry to rain on your parade, but I'm not one of the clowns. I could look like one, but sadly, I am the one that helped slay some of your clowns here.
Oh. The 4th member. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Thimreth Exultria. You are in my town. What business do you have here?
I simply wish to fix many of the issues here.
There's no issues whatsoever. No, everyone's happy here.
I wouldn't say so. As far as I know. Yeah, in my first impressions of being here, a house was burned down due to a maniac. People have been going blind. You have a bunch of people that are not afraid to murder other people. And lastly, if I were to be happy and stuff like that, I wouldn't want many raptors and a strange bug-eyed dragon named the Jabberwock coming towards my face. So if you're trying to be really nice and making it so people are happy, you're doing a really terrible job.
The Raptors are a great act, and I will stand no less. They make everybody happy.
They were a great act.
Ooh, to be expected. They were raptors after all. What about Honey?
You might need to clarify.
The Jabberwock. How's Honey doing?
They were a good Jabberwock.
Ah, that was my favorite too.
If they were, I wouldn't have sent them towards a house full of people that wish to help the city and not, to their demise.
Well, it was to make things a bit more interesting and looking around at the district. It seems to be having such a strange effect. I wonder why.
I mean, out of all of the people here, I think you know the rules of this place.
Oh, you make me blush, really. In the movie, or the movie series Harry Potter, Slytherin guy with the Snape, right? Who plays Snape?
Alan Rickman.
Thank you. The guy looks like Alan Rickman with makeup on.
I was picturing Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth. It's hard to get the Alan Rickman vibe, but try to imagine Alan Rickman as much as possible, looking like a clown with yellow hair, white makeup, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, and a large hunker of a red nose. And remember, he is dressed in all yellow, wearing a cloak.
You see, now you just have me thinking of Professor Snape just walking into to potions and then just looking to his students, reaching up to his nose. Honk, honk, students.
Ronald Weasley. Honk, honk. But sorry, I got...
Would you like to smell my flower, Weasley?
Okay,
Honk, honk.
Sorry, where the hell were we? What were you saying? I lost track again.
I basically says he knows the rules of this place.
Knows the rules. Yes, but of course, I've tamed the beast. I know what it desires, and I know what it fears.
I mean, I could definitely say it's not happy. What used to be purple is now turning black.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about that. What the hells? Why is my district not glowing a glorious purple? Why is it black? What did you do?
I wouldn't know, since I was somewhere else being chased by a maniac. However, I have a question for you. What the hell did you send a bunch of raptors and jabberwocks at us when we were just relaxing?
Yes, that's quite the point. I told your companions, very nicely, to get out of my town. I was ignored, and I have been waiting here for far too long. I've grown bored.
So in other words, you sent in your, entertainment, and you were hoping to have them entertain us instead of, dying.
Yes, but of course. Sure.
Well, I hope to inform you on this, but we cannot leave.
Oh? Why's that?
Well, to simply put it, if we leave, we die regardless, so we might as well accomplish the thing that'll make it so that we can leave. And to leave, not only to solve this area's problems, but to make it so that people can open up the city.
No, not at all, no. The city gates will remain closed. Anyone who comes in will not leave. I am sorry. It is the way that has to be. And I thought a genasi such as yourself would understand the brilliance of this. But of course not. You're blinded.
You could say that, saying that not with a joy in their voice. It just seems like, damn, they hit me in a hard spot.
You know, your kindred are doing great things here. We're doing things for your species. And yet, you're with this common rabble? Throwing a wrench in the plans? Why? Why? Don't you see what we're moving towards? A world with genasi? No, of course not. Do you even know who we're following? Do you know who's at the top?
Not unless they are that of my kindred.
Oh, but they are. Have you not heard of them?
Amuse me. That's your job regardless, too. Is to amuse people. So why with riddles?
No, it is not my job to amuse. You are to amuse me. I'm sorry. Look at me, am I? And he looks around, and again you feel another tremor, and you see like his left arm slacken at that. Oh no.
So, Here's the thing, and I can explain a bit myself in this case.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is pretty simple. I want harmony of races, not genocide of one or the other. However, I can't do that if people leave me cryptic messages, especially from the last time, for apparently I might be what most people would refer as an anti-hero of our sorts. Not trying to be, I'm just trying to accomplish a goal of making a perfect cure.
Harmony without genocide? Are you mad? You're speaking about the extinction of your species. How do you think that your society, your kin will live without death?
Making the concept of death a different form. No longer a sign of death, but simply a rebirth. Sounds less threatening.
Yes. No. A rebirth bastion. Yes.
If you make or force people to death, not many people would want to do that. They enjoy their lives. But if they were to pass on naturally through actions of the Watchers, then I think we would be okay. However, when people are thrown into the lion's dens of the Watchers, that's not exactly the same as harmonic.
No, you just don't get it! You are being hunted. You are being killed. You can't sustain your population when you are hunted. I am sorry. You just don't get it. You are blinded by your delusions, and what you seek is but a fantasy.
I don't think you know what I seek, and you might be right. I might be lost in a mindset. I imagine the people that I worked with before would scorn me so deeply. But I have a goal in mind. I haven't reached it yet, but I have that goal. And it pains my heart to see, and kind of like gestures, this metropolis for the people that suffer to be in a situation where if things are not resolved, the situation will get worse.
Seeing this town suffer, do you even know what this town is founded on? This is a town of slavers. What better to feed into the Genasi cause than such despicable men and women? Why?
And he's just like putting his hand to his face, and you see like a couple digits on his slackened arm just falling off.
Why? So foolish.
Sometimes the simplest reasons are the reasons for people to do the most atrocious things. Says you see Sierra with like a sad face. I wish for union, but not through this method.
See him taking like deep breaths as he tries to regain his composure, and he just says,
"If that is what you desire, just know you are on the losing side. There's a great war coming, and I plan to be sided with the victors. No family, no laws will stop me from doing so. I am going with the side that gets stronger with death, the ones that grow in numbers when enemies fall. Yes, I will secure my position."
Then I hate to break this for you, because I know you try your hardest. I don't know if it's for good or for evil. Regardless, your ambitions are hard-worked, and I could just say this is that your final obstacle will probably be me. And I say final because I know for a fact that I will not be devoured into this poor realm that you live in.
make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna die!
16.
16. So as you speak, you see with his good arm, he points towards you, and you see like a tentacle of slime begin to raise from the ground. It is blue, and it shoots towards you as like a spear, but the moment it reaches the gate, it is like fragile snow as it crumbles apart, and you just have black sludge at your feet, at your pants, maybe a little spackle on the face, but you do not flinch. You do not show any weakness at that attack.
I will have your head. I will have all of your heads. You will never leave my town.
And I won't take anyone's heads. I will bring this city to be better than it was before it was slavers, so that you and I and many others that are not like us can also be together. And if I fail yet again, I will have to sleep with that every night.
Make me a dexterity save now. What did you get?
17.
You stand as there's another tremor underneath your feet, and you just see Thimreth's leg give out at that tremor. And you see he's just struggling to keep his form. And you see the lights across the town, the bright lights of the blue district, the green district, red, yellow. It begins to flicker at these tremors.
You will not win. I will get the last laugh. The Exultrians always get the last laugh.
I do not care what your name is, for if you were a friend, I would jot it down. But since you do not want to help me, god damn it, Eddie, nor do you, well, your ambitions are not wrong, but since we do not see eye to eye, your name's nothing more than an echo of what once was.
Let's shift the focus back to the boys. We're in the manor. It is all black. It is like you're inside the belly of a beast. You see a hallway. Well, I should describe where Mega is. You see a corridor that leads towards the ceiling, ramp-like. And through that doorway in the ceiling is a long, nearly endless hallway. Mega is getting harder to breathe, and there is a monstrosity crawling behind you, with the forms of raptors, fallen soldiers, moving it forward. And you see at the head of the manifestation, the fallen Jabberwock, and it is slowly crawling towards you.
Wait, hold on just a second. Closes the door. Looks to Atticus. Alright, that's better.
Agreed. Now let's get out of here. And I guess we'll start moving down the only way we can.
Yep. You begin moving down and down, and minutes go by as it feels like you've already walked through this manor's full length multiple times. And as you go, you hear the distant whispers of a voice, a singular voice, as it tries to sound human. No, stop, don't go. Hungry. I'm so hungry. And you see the distance behind you, the raptors begin to dissipate into sludge. The soldiers, or the swordsmen and the archers do the same, and the Jabberwock begins to deform, break apart like it's it's molting skin of an insect.
So what would you say that this creature is feeling as this happens?
I wouldn't even call it a feeling, but the best way to put it is desperation. Fear. Yes, you feel fear as you see this creature coming towards you. And like I was describing before, the Jabberwock's body sheds its skin like it's an insect, and it molts away. And you see, with pain steps as it tries to chase you, very, very slowly, stumbling, is just the figure of a man as he just keeps taking a step closer and closer, just echoing in the hallway. Don't go.
I want to consume this thing.
You want to consume it? How do you do so?
I'm going to absorb the rest of its fear.
Give yourself a point of inspiration, Atticus, as you have...
I'm going to give that to Eddie, because I already have one. So can I give it to someone
I'm
else?
pretty sure he also has inspiration, doesn't he? Or no, he recently spent
he used it in the last fight, I think.
That's fine. You can give it to Mega. Congratulations, Atticus. You figured out what it fears. Fear itself. The emotion of fear.
I thought I was afraid of gay energy. Being sucked off by another dude.
So animate this for me. How do you feed?
Well, as we're kind of moving away from it, I kind of sense its fear, and that's when I kind of turn around and stare at it. And as it, as much as it can look at me, Atticus isn't doing any magic or anything, but it's just his confidence coming back, walking towards it, is kind of filling it more with that fear and his opinion. And then when he just gets up to it, as it's kind of writhing up, he just kind of puts his hand on its forehead and just says, "That's enough of that."
No, I want to live. I don't want to die. I just want to help people. No, you're just like him. Just like him.
I'm better than him.
He begins to melt as you just hear in your ears, "I just want to help people," as it begins to melt and shrink as you eat away at its fear. You get more and more full, and it's rich. This is probably the most primal fear you've ever tasted. And as you touch it and absorb it, Seer, as you're talking to Thimreth, you just see him in shock. "What did you do? What did you do?" And you just see the black ink begin to recede as there is no color, no slime. It just begins to dissipate. You see buildings crumbled that were originally formed by the slime. You see shacks that were originally built by hand are the only things that stand. And you see the manor begin to disappear. No.
If you were to reveal secrets to me, I could tell you answers, but I have no clue.
Atticus, Seer, give yourself back the charisma that you lost as it recedes and becomes nothing.
Probably won't make it scary to this clown dude is that they see Seer emboldened. More flame.
So, are we allowed to say that Atticus brought sexy back?
Indeed. Just to reference where you guys are at, Atticus, you see that you are just on the ground. There is no hallway, there is no ceiling, there are no walls, there is no foundation for the mansion anymore. All that's left are items that weren't made by the Mimic, as you have destroyed a part of it.
Oh, I'm stuffed. By the way, where's Aluya been this whole time? Like,
a distance away from the house, like you can see, like with the elves in a group somewhere, like not too far away from the manor.
Dude, this is like way more cool in person.
Eddie, something's weird. Wasn't there a slime mother and slime baby near you earlier?
There was. Did they melt out of his arms?
You could say that with the receding of the ink in the slime, destroying this part of the slime has also destroyed them.
now, which was destroyed first, the mother or the baby?
Oh God!
Oh no!
You know, Atticus, you did this, so you get to choose. Mother dies first, then the baby. And I want to say, like, the last things maybe Eddie hears from them is, just an echo of his name. Eddie, 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 as it just echoes away.
Hey, did you
Eddie's just kind of like looking around.
where did they go?
Atticus is still kind of recovering because obviously being surrounded by that much fear, he lost control a bit. So I think he's doing his best to keep distance from Eddie and kind of putting Juliet in between him and Eddie. And, instead of Juliet guarding Atticus, it's more of guarding Eddie from Atticus. I think I need a little bit of space right now.
Oh, don't worry. I'll just keep looking around. I'm sure the little dude's around here somewhere. Cause Street Rat will want to meet him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess Eddie gives Atticus some space as Eddie just kind of looks around just to see if he can find any trace of them.
As you look around, you don't see trace of them, but you do see that one Graveborn that was walking around, who is as she should be, dead. But nothing more than that. No signs. It is if someone power washed the mother and child from existence. Not a scrape on the floor, not a drop of blood, not a single drop of black slime in this district anymore.
I'm going to see if this actually. This is more just a personal roll.
Were the actual dice?
Also, am I aware that I consume them? Like, I don't know if I would have the mental.
Yeah, you're very aware. You ate all of it, everything. In fact, if I could incorporate sins into this game, like gluttony, I would sure as hell give you the title of gluttony.
Yeah, well, I mean, given my race, I think I was born
a glutton.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a.
It's our thing. We eat.
All right. I think Eddie, as he's just kind of like, and maybe this is part of it, but it goes back over to the Graveborn body, and just basically first making sure that it's maybe just slid right back in, making sure that there's actually really nothing going on in there.
Yep, you examine the body. You don't even need to check. This is a corpse, and you've seen this Graveborn. It was talking to Seer at a few points. This was risen, but since everything that occurred, it seems like it's no longer with us anymore.
Not there. And just Eddie just keeps looking around, and based on my personal roll, this happens a bit quicker than I would expect. But just as he's just walking, just gets this sinking feeling, and then just kind of stops in his tracks.
You see Eddie as a protective shroud around you, kind of like a blanket.
They're gone, aren't they?
See, the eyes shift throughout the mist, just taking a full look at you.
So I do have to ask, also for reference sake, because of everything that just happened.
Yeah, a lot of things happened.
But do Eddie and Aluya still have a heightened emotional sensitivity, or?
No, actually, no. With what recently happened, that would also not be applicable any longer. Thank you for reminding me, because it seems like the stem of the issue has been resolved a lot quicker than Gray thought it would be.
All right, then this would be would be more of Eddie-ish. It's
so then Street Rat doesn't know,
and you kind of get the feeling. I know you've had conversations with Eddie, but you get the feeling, the concept, as a response to that. He is alone, and it kind of sparks the visual of, maybe unintentionally, sparks the visual in you. A street rat alone in darkness, without his love, without his child. And you see, perhaps Eddie, your Echo Knight, not exactly step back, but seems more concerned as it doesn't know what it just did.
He's alone.
And I'm trying to figure out my best way of putting this. It tries to rescind that, to take it back. Just going, no.
Someone he loved is gone, and now he's alone.
Just, you think. Eddie forms in front of you as your reflection, as he more vigorously shakes his head. No.
So what's he gonna do? Who else can he doesn't have anyone else. He's alone. He's by himself. Will he ever love again?
Even that thought, it's up to you, Mega, how you feel about it. But that revelation sinks really deep with you, as you maybe remember a child saying, "Happy birthday, Eddie."
I will see what a wisdom save looks like.
11.
Yeah, I think Eddie kind of holds his head in on one side, holds his head with one of his hands, struggling, and just kind of looks into Smoky Eddie's eyes.
I felt this before, haven't I?
Eddie is hesitant. Its eyes dart around as it tries to think of a solution. Then, eventually, you look into the shadow of yourself as it focuses its eyes deep in you. And as you feel that emotion, ask that question. It feels like you're forgetting something again. But no, you know this. There's something deeper. And it looks like Eddie, your Echo Knight, is a bit taken aback. Like, as you ask that question, it's already trying something, but it's struggling. What does Eddie, you, Mega, the player, do? Do you keep going deeper? Do you keep delving into this thought, this memory, this feeling?
I will roll one more wisdom save, and I'll let that decide.
Yeah. You can. Ooh, 8.
Yeah, just like Eddie. It's like I feel like he's like starts as he like tries to. It just starts to hurt more and more, and he's honestly kind of not even really used to pain. So like he's kind of like almost like rejecting it a bit, and like it's like the fight, as it were, we're just like slowly boiling down, and he stops. Like it like hurts. It make it stop.
And you see Eddie's hand, the black shadowy hand, just creep closer and closer until its digit touches your brow, and you see its eyes begin to glow like stars. Since you asked, make it stop. Mega, Eddie, you may describe the process, and I will tell you what happens.
Just as he touches his brow, as you said, Eddie's eyes kind of Eddie's whole body kind of like stiffens a bit, and his eyes kind of like gloss over a bit, and even to a certain degree, like different like his ears, his mouth, his nostrils just start exuding a smoke, almost as if like evaporating from his head.
Okay. Let me tell you what happened today, Eddie. What happened today, at the start of the day, you met Street Rat in the Purple District. You don't know why you'd meet him in the Purple District. There's no mansion there. You met him there, and you asked, since he's your bud, sell a little product for you. Help him get him on his feet. You care about him. He's always had trouble finding love. But you know that the only love he really needs is the love of friendship. Comfort your bud, hang out with them, chill with them. Bad streak aside, he's selling produce for you today. Now, towards the events that occurred, you remember, you're trapped in the Purple District. You got nowhere to crawl, nowhere to hide. You've had to fight a Jabberwock in the open, raptors in the open, and a small force of elves. It's strange. No. Like, it's not strange. It's just there's a few select elves that don't appear in that memory. Once the battle's done, you've seen that you made an offer with the elves to give them employment, as a good man should do. Good old Seer went to talk to Thimereth. And Atticus is just being Atticus. He's being weird. For some reason, he's acting like he had a big buffet, but like, a little strange that there's not a lot of food here, but bygones be bygones. Atticus is always going to be a little strange. No manor, no wife, no babies. You've never held one before. Any other questions about your day for consistency's sake?
It's like no, I think just in that moment, like after Eddie's mind clears a bit, looks around. Man, someone should really clean up this district. It's really messy.
Yeah, a couple corpses here and there. You always thought the Purple District was weird. Like, it seems like there should be houses where there should be houses, but there's just weird gaps here and there. Why would they even call this a noble district? There's no manors, not even a castle.
They must be really poor nobles. Eddie's thinking to himself as he's just like looking about and like maybe seeing Juliet and Atticus just like, nah, I shouldn't bug him while he's full. And then just like
I guess like wanders over to Seer and or Aluya.
And Atticus, any finishing thoughts?
I think Atticus is concerned about how he just lost control, and he might try to make himself avoid the others until he can regain his standing.
And again, I would say that you are probably the only person in this party that truly witnessed that, because I feel as though the elves and Aluya, their attention may have been towards Thimreth, not with Seer, but looking towards that direction as you guys were going about. I don't know, I feel like that was a pretty powerful note to end on.
This has been House Common Blood, the intro and outro music by Savick, Oh My Dog. Any music and sound effects used in the episode are royalty-free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be using. And if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. I hope to see you soon.